back to class. This is another session again. Now we have another topic or subtopic on the board. We have been looking at linear equation for quite a number of time now, and today we are still in the business of solving linear equation, but in another category. All right. Now we'll be looking at equations with fractions. In today's class, we'll be looking at equations with fractions. Guys, we have looked at direct linear equation. We have looked at equation with brackets. Now we are going to be looking at equations with fraction. Guys, as you can remember, when we were looking at direct equation, I explained that there are two things that you do, two operations that you performed. And when we were now dealing with equations with brackets, there were three principles or three steps that I made mention of that you take to be able to solve those problems effectively. And one of the methods I mentioned is that you remove the bracket, collect like terms, divide both sides, right? Now, what are those things I must do to be able to have the correct answer or to be able to solve linear equation involving bracket effectively? There are four major operations to be performed anytime you are dealing with equations with fraction. Yes, four major operations. Sure, you get to know are the principles that will help you to solve problems stresslessly, right? Yes. Now, one of the things that you must do is you must first of all clear the fraction. This is step number one. The first thing that you must do anytime you are dealing with equation with fractions is that you have to clear the fraction. Of course, what are fractions? Fractions are expressions that have numerator and denominator. Is that correct? So the essence of clearing the fraction is to remove the denominator. So when I mention clearing the fraction, I'm indirectly telling you that you are to remove or eliminate the denominators. All right? Yes, it can be one denominator, it can be two denominators, it can be three denominators, and so on and so forth. So anytime you are clearing the fraction, all you are simply doing is eliminating the denominator. 2, open the brackets. 3, collect like terms. 4, divide both sides by the coefficient of the variables, if any. Now, the first one is the major thing I'm going to explain, because you already know how to open brackets, you already know how to collect like terms, you already know how to divide both sides by the coefficient of the variable, if any, right? Now, how do we look at the first case in this? 1, listen carefully. To be able to clear the fraction or to be able to eliminate the denominator of any fraction, the first thing you do is to find the L.C.M of the denominators that are present in any given equation. Having obtained the L.C.M of the denominators, the next thing you do is to multiply each term by the L.C.M you just obtained from the denominators. Hope that is taken. Yes. To clear the denominator, one thing you do first is to find the L.C.M of the denominators. The next thing you do is to now multiply all the terms by the L.C.M of the denominators you just obtained is equal to x over 3 plus 1 over 2. So step number 1 here is to clear the fraction. So clear the fraction. And I made mention of it that to clear the fraction means to eliminate the denominator. And how do we eliminate the denominator here? We find the L.C.M of the denominator. Now, the L.C.M of 2, 3, and 2 is 6. Now, we'll be clearing the fraction using the L.C.M of the denominator. So first we used to say the L.C.M of 2, which is the first denominator, 3 and 2 is 6. Yes, the L.C.M of 2, 3 and 2, guys, is 6. That's the L.C.M of 2, 3 and 2. So the next thing we do is to now multiply this equation by that L.C.M. This is the way to clear the fraction of any fractions equation with fraction. Guys, so this is what we are going to have this as what? 6 times x over 2. This is the statement we just did now. So what we are going to do, like I said now, is to clear the fraction. You will now multiply this equation, multiply all through by the LCM you just obtained. So we are going to have 6 times everything here we put in bracket is equal to 6 times x over 3 plus 6 times 1 over 2. Guys, hope this is taken. Yes, this is how it is. So to clear fraction, first find the LCM of the denominators. Second, multiply all the terms by the LCM of the denominators. Now, what do we do next? The next thing we do is that these two can go into 3 to go into 6 to give us 3. We're going to have 3 open bracket x is equal to, now this 6 is divisible by 3. Understand that this 6 here is at the numerator, while 3 is at the denominator, right? Yes. So we are going to have 6 divided by 3. We are going to have 2. So we are going to have 2 times x. Then plus 6 divided by 2. Then we are going to have 3 times 1. The numerator is what you have inside the bracket. The numerator is what you have inside the bracket. Then the next thing we do is to remove the bracket. This will give us 3x is equal to 2x plus 3. Guys, this is now direct linear equation. What do we do here? We are going to quickly collect like term. Of course, what we just did now is to remove the bracket, right? Yes, is to remove the bracket. That's what gave us this. So step number 3 now is to what? Collect like terms. And now we are going to have 3x as a variable already at the left hand side, but at the right hand side I have 2x. So I have to move it from the right hand side to the left hand side, and when plus 2s crosses the sign of the equality, guys, we are going to have minus 2x, and this is equal to 3. So guys, when you remove 2x from 3x, we are going to have 1x equal to 3. And this is the answer to this very question. Yes, we have question number 2 on the board, guys. We are asked to solve 3y plus 2 all over 6 is equal to 2y minus 7 over 9. This is a fraction. Equation with fraction. We have numerator, we have denominator. Don't forget, 4 steps, we are done. Now, we have our solution this way. And we have 3y plus 2 over 6 is equal to 2y minus 7 over 9. So the first thing we do is to clear the fractions. To clear the fractions now, we need to find the LCM of 6 and 9. Therefore, guys, we have the LCM. Clear the fraction. The LCM of 6 and 9 is 18. Guys, you can find that. You know how to find LCM, but if not, then we'll teach you in another video, right? Now, so the LCM of 6 and 9 is 18. Okay, let me make it easy for you. I'm going to do it only in this case. Therefore, other cases you will do it by yourself. All right, now let's quickly explain the concept of LCM. How do we get this 18? We just said now that the LCM of 6 and 9 is 18. Understand that we only find LCM of the denominators, and the denominators here are 6 and 9, guys. Now, how do we obtain 18 as the LCM of 6 and 9? Guys, you know this is how you calculate LCM table. This is 6 and this is 9. Now, guys, what is the least number that can go into 6 and 9, or 6 or 9, any of them? The least number that we can divide them now is 2. 2 into 6 will give us 3, and 2 into 9 cannot. We put down 9. Then the next number that can divide both 3 and 9 is 3. So we now have 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 3 divided by 9. 9 divided by 3 would have given us 3. Then the next thing is what? We now still divide everything by what? 3. So this divided by 3 would have given us 1, and this divided by 3 will give us 1. Now that we have 1, 1 for this, then what do? We now multiply 2 times 3 times 3. So 2 times 3 is 6, and 6 times 3, guys, will give us 18. This is how we obtain the LCM of 6 and 9 to be 18. So now that we have gotten the LCM of 6 and 9 to be 18, then the next thing we do is to multiply this term by what? 18, which happens to be the LCM of the denominator. It's as simple as this. So I don't need to make that statement. We already find the LCM of 6 and 9 to be 18. Next thing is what? Multiply each term here by the LCM of 6 and 9, which is 18. So I'm going to have 18 times 3y minus 2, plus 2 all over 6 is equal to 18 times 2y minus 7 over 9. This is it. It's as simple as this, guys. So the first thing you do is to multiply or true by the L.C.M of the denominator, so that you can eliminate the denominator. And this is what we meant by clearing the fraction. Now guys, what do we do? 6 can go into 18 to give us 3. Hence you are going to have 3 into what remains here would have been what? 3y plus 2 is equal to 9 can go into 18 to give us 2. So now put down 2 into 2y plus 7. Understand that every equation with fraction will always lead you to equation with brackets, and every equation with brackets will always lead you to what? Direct linear equation. Now we have gotten to what? Equation with bracket. So even though I stop here, guys, I am sure that you can further the solution of this question from here, but we are going to solve it, being that this is another segment of linear equation problems, right? Now, so what do? We now say, okay, remove the brackets. Guys, how do we remove the bracket? We are going to multiply all the terms inside the bracket by the multiplication factor. The first bracket here has a multiplication factor of 3. So we are going to have 3 times 3y, we are going to have 9y, and 3 times plus 2, we are going to have 6, is equal to 2 times 2y, guys, we are going to have 4y, and 2 times minus 7, guys, we are going to have minus 14. Then the next thing we do, guys, is to what? Collect like terms. Now we have collect like terms. So by collection of like terms, it simply means that all the variables should be arranged at the left hand side and all the constants should be arranged at the right hand side. That's all. So the first variable that I have here now that will occupy my left hand side is 9y, because it's not moving, it's already at the left hand side. But 4y happens to be at the right hand side, and now when we move plus 4y from the right hand side to the left hand side, we are going to have minus 4y, which obeys the second law of linear equation. Then this will be equal to the first variable, constant that I have here is minus 14, guys. Then plus 6 is at the left hand side. Yes, plus 6 is at the left hand side. Now if I move plus 6 from the left hand side to the right hand side, is going to obey rule number 2, and we are going to have this as minus 6. Guys, 9y minus 4y, we are going to have 5y, equivalent to minus 14 minus 6. Guys, will we have minus 20? So put down this as minus 20. Guys, the next thing we are quickly going to do is to divide. We simply divide both sides by 5, which happens to be the coefficient of y. We will divide both sides by 5. So we are going to have 5y over 5 is equal to minus 20 over 5. Guys, when you divide 5 by 5, you have 1y. And when you divide minus 20 by 5, guys, you have minus 4. This is all about this. Guys, this is very, very simple with ease. Of course, I'm not going to stop here. At least we are going to solve a minimum of 5 questions, right? This is the second question. So if you still have not gotten it at this point now, please follow us as we solve the very next question. Question number 3, question number 4, 5, etc.